Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to be unboxing this package, and what's in here is called a Ghost Cube. This is a hand mod. It's probably the hardest 3x3 hand mod that's out there. And so as I unbox this, I'm going to tell you that I cannot tell you who sold it to me. That the maker requested that I don't reveal the source. What I can reveal though is an email address, and you can email the person, but the maker doesn't want me saying what country it comes from, or the name or anything like that, or the YouTube, because so many people will apparently, a lot of people have contacted this person wanting to know how to make it, and this person makes them to sell, not to give away, you know what I mean? Okay, so here we have these. So again, if you want to get one of these, I have a link in the description, or sorry, an email address in the description, and that's all I can provide you. Anyways, I can see it through the bubble wrap already. This is really good. Let me zoom up a little bit actually here so we can see a little bit more. Okay. Usually I fast forward, but it doesn't really seem like there's much. Wow, you can see it already. Wow, that looks really nice. Okay. So this is a Ghost Cube, and you might be thinking, these pieces look really, really weird. How is this supposed to line up with that? And I know a lot of you out there have seen this because you've watched Super Antonio Vivaldi's, or maybe I think Blizzard KB had one before. And so yeah, the way that this works is that it's sort of like a 3x3, like this, except for what they did is they turned some layers like this, and then they chopped it, and then they made it good again, square. And let's see actually a size comparison here. It's pretty much the same size as a 3x3 again. I can see that this part here is a little bit shorter than this part. I can imagine that it would be a little bit difficult to make this perfectly square. Or maybe that's just the way it is because it's a Ghost Cube, I don't know. Maybe there should be a little black sticker there, I'm not sure. I think Super Antonio Vivaldi had the same thing. So I guess the maker probably didn't. But if I wanted one, I could probably put it on there. All right. So here we have 3 layers. 1, 2, and 3. The thing is that... oh, I can see the modding going on. Crazy. The thing is, though, is that when it's in the square position, if I can put it back, you only have access to these 2 because these don't move. And if you move them so they are like this, now you can see that I can make a turn. Oh, I can't wait to solve this thing. Now I'm not exactly sure what cube this was made out of. I just said whatever, as long as it turns good, I'm totally happy with it. I would kind of hope that it would be made out of a ghost hand because it's a Ghost Cube. I thought that would be fitting. And also ghost hands I think are pretty good to mod, but I'm not sure what this is made out of. But I can tell you that it turns really, really nice. Just got to make sure that it'll be able to line up again. Okay, well, let's go ahead and scramble this thing up. So we turn it like this, and that's the way you have to solve it like this too, and then turn it. So that's what's really, really tricky about it. Also because there's, it's all shapes. It's sort of like a bump cube, but not a bump cube. Okay, let's continue to scramble. This thing moves really, really well. Now I didn't bother going through to try to memorize, what kind of pieces go where. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for me. Okay, so there we go. So I can see that here we've got a center, and then these are all edges. These are corners, and the same here. And the same here. And what it looks like the person did, it looks like the person added pieces on. Like here you can see, yeah, I think that actually is a Ghost Cube. But added some pieces on, cut it, added it, and then put a sheet over top. So it's not epoxy filled or anything like that. I wonder if I can get a piece out actually. We can take a look at it. Oh yeah, easy. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a ghost cube. So yeah, you can see what happened there. Like it's, I'm not revealing how it's made by, whoops. I'm not really revealing how it's made by showing this. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you, just by looking at how the pieces are when you're turning them. It's a lot more difficult than what it looks like, I can tell you that. So let's go ahead and put this back in. Now hopefully I put this in. Whoops, not in yet. Hopefully I'm putting this in right, because it fell on the floor and I don't know if it's supposed to go in this way or that way, and it would be very difficult to know on a puzzle like this. I'm sure that even taking this apart and putting it back together would be a challenge. Here's a center cap. I want to make sure that goes back on the same way. Okay, well, I'm going to go and solve this thing, and I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on it. Okay, so I've solved it once already, and I got to say that I'm really impressed with the quality of this puzzle and the difficulty of this puzzle. Now, with me not really taking a look around the cube and paying attention to what pieces could go where before I solve, really made it difficult. I have watched Super Antonio Vivaldi's video once, and I did kind of remember some things, but I want to point out one thing first, is that these two layers that you move, these are the ones that have to be solved first. So one of these has to be your cross. And the reason for that is because, I guess it doesn't really have to be, it's just a lot easier if it is. And I gotta say, like, at first when this whole thing is in a scrambled position and I've got this cross piece in, I'm trying to figure out how to orient these centers. Because if the center here, like this here is a center, if this was twisted 90 degrees one way, obviously it wouldn't line up with all of these side second layer edge pieces. And on a cube like this, when you're starting to match things up on a cube like this, you can see that, for instance, this piece can go here, but it cannot go there because it doesn't fit. And when you're done your cross on a cube like this, you can line them up with these pieces to make sure that this is actually, this corner is actually oriented properly, because you can use this edge piece, a part of your cross, in order to do that. On this puzzle, you can't do that, and I didn't really get that at first. I don't know, I thought I was doing the cross wrong, and then I tried the cross on the other side, and I couldn't get it. And the reason for that is because these edges don't match up with the cross. They match up with these edge pieces right here. And that made it really, really difficult, because I had nothing to go off of when I was trying to orient these centerpieces. All I had to go off of was the same centerpieces. And without this edge here and the whole cube scrambled, it would be very difficult to know that this piece that points this way would be oriented for this piece. So basically it was a lot of moving things around in order to get it. And the first layer is actually not that difficult at all. It's this layer here. It's the middle layer that's really confusing. And the top layer actually came together quite nicely, but I'm pretty good at doing supercube kind of top layer stuff. And as much as this is a supercube, it's also not. It's its own type of puzzle, I would have to say. Another thing that I found really, really cool about this puzzle too is that in the square form here, we can't turn anything besides these two, but I figured out that if I turn this edge piece to this center piece, it still somewhat maintains a cube form. And same with this one. If I turn this one over to this one, it still maintains a cube form. A little bit. You can see that it's off, but I can still move it now. So I think that could be another way to solve it. I don't think that I will experiment with that though. I gotta say that on a 4x4 version of this would be extremely difficult with parity, and I would like to get one in the near future, just because of the level of difficulty. And also there's a 5x5, the Professor Ghost Cube, and wow, does that thing look very, very complicated. Anyways, guys, so that's the puzzle. It's very, very nice, made out of a ghost hand. I have confirmed that with the builder now. And again, I can't release any information about where this comes from, what country, YouTube page, anything like that. What I can give you is an email address that you can email if you want to inquire about buying one of these, and that will be in the description. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video.
Cause at your witching hour, my soul can't hide away. I think